Hello and welcome to another live stream. Hope you guys can hear me. As you guys can see, President Biden, he tweeted, Prime Minister Netanyahu informed me that Israel has agreed to a mutual unconditional ceasefire. The Egyptians have now informed us that Hamas and other groups in Gaza has also agreed. This is some amazing news after so many deaths that occurred in Palestine, and there were even some deaths in Israel. Even though this is probably not a permanent solution, but as long as the bombs and stuff they stopped happening in Gaza, and toward Israel. That's what matters, because in the end of the day, the one that suffers the most is the civilians on either side. The innocent civilians, especially on the Palestinian sides, because they don't have anywhere to protect themselves, like bomb shelters or a siren, or any good warning system where they can go and hide from all the bombs that comes from Israel, etc. So this is some amazing news. I'm so happy for the people in Palestine, and on the other side, I hope it lasts. And now, what the world needs to do is come together, and they need to see the atrocities that's been committed, not just now, but for the past over 50 years or so, that's or more, that's been committed by the state of Israel. So before I start to talk about this ceasefire, I just want to mention one thing. Um, you guys remember, right, how the Israel, how the whole Israel, they got their states and everything. The British, they did the line, whatever they were, pretty much there's a conflict right now, whether it was India and Pakistan, when they left, India separated into pretty much two states, actually three, but one later became Bangladesh. And now they have trouble there. And then also this. Okay, so when they were deciding, to give the Israelis a place, there's a lot of space here in the United States, even at that time. Could, or before they were coming up with this plan to give, Israelis their own state, couldn't they give them like one state there? Like even Alaska, there's not many people there. They could have gave them that. All of this conflict, it could have been avoided in a way if they thought about it, because they gave them an area which surrounded by one type of ethnicity and stuff, and then you force your agenda on those people and take their land. And I'm not talking about like some people like, oh, they were promised their land and stuff. Can you 100% prove that the people who live right now in Israel, they were originally from there? Because a lot of them were born in Europe and all over, and then they came there, and while the Palestinians, were there for generations and generations. Um, so as I said, this ceasefire is awesome because a lot of children, they don't have to hear those bombs and stuff anymore, but it could be easily broken if either side doesn't provoke firing. One thing we cannot forget is how many people have passed away. We have to remember them, and there are so many children that died in this unnecessarily. Though they had the future, they were young, and a lot of them, I think over 60, were children that died in Palestine, and probably many more are probably traumatized by this entire event. And I remember they said, reading somewhere, that in one house, where they were treating kids, for all the hurts and stuff, trauma, that place actually got bombed, and a lot of them died. So you can see, even though it was like a few days, a week or so, so many atrocity has been committed, and people need to be appealed, especially in the Israeli sides, for all the civilian deaths that occurred. We cannot forget and move forward without delivering justice for those people, those innocent people that passed away. and whoever has done it needs to be brought forth. And this type of fighting, it needs to stop. The world needs to come together and find a solution for this. They need to give a nice area, a big area for the Palestinian peoples who used to rule their area, whether it's the West Bank or the Gaza Strip. They needs to give them a nice big area and give the Israelis, their own area. Right now, if you look at the map is so unfair. It's undivided. How much area the Palestinians got compared to how much they had before 1947 versus now, compared to how much Israelis have. Israeli has a very large amount of land, and the Palestinians, they're pretty much control of everything, power, etc. So the Palestinians, the world needs to come and find a solution and give them their rights before another incident like this occurs, because enough is enough. Honestly, like, how long is this gonna go? For how long? I'm just glad the ceasefire happened, so many more innocent people don't have to die, and it needs to remain this way. And the world needs to step up their game and do something about this um, thing that's taking place right now. Israel always says Hamas, but what they oversee of what they do, it takes two hands to clap. Honestly, um, this video I shared, it says, when you see those buildings fall, there's not civilians that there. Okay, Mr. Netanyahu, what about the children that die there? There's a lot of children they um, die there innocently. What about them? Huh? For example, right there, the video. What is that? What is that? Are these not innocent people? Who are they? Honestly, who are they? He said that innocent people do not die in this. Look at this age. This is the age of playing. Not see this going to leave a trauma. You think a lot of these children are going to grow up normal after witnessing all of this, the witnessing the deaths of their children? So these are some graphic videos. Please be advised. I'm warning you guys a little bit late, but the smallest bodies are the hardest to carry, the heaviest, or so they say. Look at this. I can't even look at this anymore. I'm sorry, but this just breaking my heart so much. I can't even look at this. So the U.S. has blocked at least 53 UN's Security Council resolution against Israel since 1953. The latest veto comes aimed Israeli bombardment of Gaza that has killed at least 230 Palestinians, including 65 children. You guys can see how tragic this is. According to Al Jazeera, this is just messed up. Why? Why do you block it? Isn't the United Nations is created so there can be fair justice for all the countries? Even the powerful ones can be brought to justice. So I don't understand what is the point. I will never understand. See, the UNG will convene to discuss Israeli ongoing offensive on Gaza. So if the United States keep vetoing it, what are they going to do? Is it there even worth a point of doing anything? And this guy right here, Senator Ted Cruz. Cruz says Biden has lack of backbone in support of Israel. One thing I like recently that I saw um, was the Bernie Sanders. Let me see, Bernie Sanders. Okay, let's see, ceasefire. So ceasefire is trending. Let's see what we got. I'm so glad the doctors in Gaza are celebrating. Um, this is awesome. Okay, the camera fell a little bit. This is awesome. Few minutes after ceasefire, scenes shows hundreds of Palestinians in Gaza Strip and West Bank and many others are celebrating what they consider victories. I mean, honestly, you can call it victory, whatever you want to say, but at what cost? So many innocent people died, but at least now that bombardment is not there, and people don't know if they're going to leave or not. People cheering and whistling fireworks, and Gaza is celebrating, according to Umar Gharib. What comes after ceasefire is really important. This is a step forward momentum. We need to keep pushing for pre-Palestine. He's right. We need to spread. We need to. The world cannot just stop um, after this whole event that just took place because of how many innocent people died. Here, according to Saad, Free Palestine, he said that 230 lives lost, including 6,000 children, too late. 100,000 civilians injured, too late. 90,000 displaced in Gaza, too late. And yet the occupation continued and the siege has not been lifted. Justice has not been prevailed. Uh, Unfortunately, that's true. Even though there is ceasefire, the people are going to continue to suffering until the entire world does something. There's a lot of people that've been arrested, a lot of people died, and the world cannot just move forward without doing something. So it cannot continue to happen, and I hope it happens. My high hopes are that it does occur, um, because if it doesn't, that would be the seizes. Um, that would be one of the saddest things ever. Wow, Priti Patel wanted to send aid money. See, I saw a lot of Indian supporters. I'm not saying everyone, but I saw a lot of Indian supporters on Twitter. They're sending um, money. I mean, not money, but they were supporting, I guess, the Hindu Vith or whatever they call it from there, supporting Israel. I don't understand. You guys are battling COVID-19 and you're supporting oppression. But then again, what's going on in Kashmir is no different than what's happening in Palestine. David Weisman said, I might not be religious as I used to be, but I pray a ceasefire will last for the safety of Israelis and Palestinians, especially Palestinians. It needs to last, and there needs to be something done for the Palestinians people because they have suffered for long enough as it is already. And if they don't do anything, that will be one of the, if the world doesn't do anything and let this opportunity slide, it will be one of the saddest things ever. As we saw a while ago, you saw how many. Oh, there's something I want to talk about is Pakistani FM invokes an anti-Semitic slur. I actually want to talk about this. Pretty much, I'm gonna make a whole video discussing this because this calls for a video of its own. The guy just talked about Israel, how he controls, the media and stuff. And is he wrong though? There was people on Twitter that spoke for Palestine, and their account randomly got blocked. And there were some people saying on Instagram that when they liked or post on Twitter, their posts got taken down or whatever. So I don't think there was any lie in there. I really want to see uh, this, and I love how she shakes her eyes. She says like, "Oh, I think what you're saying is anti-Semitic," So each time somebody call out Israel is anti-Semitic, what about the people calling Iran and Saudi Arabia and a bunch of other countries communists or terrorists or whatever, name calling or calling their bad policies, even in London, etc. So calling somebody bad, it automatically becomes anti-Semitic. If that's the case, then anyone that says something against any Muslim country is Islamophobia. So Sumaya said. Israel just thank everyone for their support except India. They don't care um, about Indians here. They keep supporting. Yeah, I mean, not all Indians are supporting it, but there's a lot of support. If you search, India with Israel, you see why they're supporting it. And I can understand why they're doing it. It's because Kashmir, they're doing the same type of oppression there in Kashmir. So, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree of why they're supporting it. So here's people celebrating it. Unfortunately, so many people passed away from this, but I'm glad this is happening. That there's some type of celebration. This person says ceasefire is not a solution. Our solution is only Palestine. Indeed, Palestine needs to happen. Palestine needs to be free. They suffered long enough. I'm so glad they're celebrating. After facing so many It's great to see them celebrating and a little bit happy. Bernie Sanders, I love this guy. He is blocking the 75, 700 million, 50 plus million, whatever aid this for. The arms sales that's happening with Israel. He's stopping that. I'm so glad that there's somebody in the Senate of the Congress in the United States that's finally calling Israel for what they're doing. Our tax money goes to Israel. They buy bombs and stuff with it with the same money, and boom, they bomb Israel. I'm glad that there's somebody in the Senate and in the representative too, like Tayyip and all of those AOC. All of them are calling against this. I'm so happy. There's finally a different of opinion instead of in the past we always supported Israel, always supported because they said it's an anti-Semitic. No one hates Jews. Jews are very kind people. Israelis is a whole different case. It's a country. It's a state. I mean, in my opinion, it doesn't exist, but it's a state. It's a difference. They're committing a lot of war crimes, and calling them out, I don't think it's anti-Semitics. Anyways, guys, for more informative videos, don't forget to subscribe and tune in next time. Till then, take care of yourselves, and thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to be making a video about that CNN anchor and the foreign prime minister of Pakistani about the anti-Semitic. So don't forget to check that out later. Till then, take care of yourselves. So one of the people in the chat says boycott Sadaf breads. Most Arab and halal stores carry. Uh, there's a lot of products that comes from Israel. I think Coca-Cola is one or whatever is one of their companies. Um, yeah, try to boycott as much as we can. There needs to be sanctions on Israel's. Any other small Muslim countries or any other, the United Nations and Europe put sanction on them right away. But when it comes to Israel, they don't put any type of sanctions on them. Like why? They just have so much control over the world, and it's sad, unfortunately. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe and tune in next time. Till then, take care of yourselves.